What's up, y'all? It's Annabelle with That Good Shit, and I am here with.
Jeff,
How you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm really excited. I feel like this interview is long overdue. We've tried to do it before, and I think I got like sick last time, and so the timing has finally worked out, and we're here. And yeah, I'm really stoked to be here with you today. How's your day so far?
It's been chilled. I woke up, hit the gym, and then took the train. Then I got here, so it's been chill.
What's your favorite things to do when you're out in New York? Because you've been here pretty often recently.
Yeah, I like to eat when I'm in New York. New York kind of has like dope food spots. So like this Robetta's pizza spot, fire. I like to meet up with like other like dope creatives, so like doing sessions and stuff like that.
What are some of your favorite sessions you've been in New York?
I did a Kirk Knight session in the Atlantic Studios. That was fire. The first session that I ever did in New York last year was for like when I started working on my project. That was fun. An upcoming session that I think is going to be really good with one of my friends, Life of Tone. Shout out to him.
Big shout out to Life of Tom. Life of Tom is like the blood of the hip hop community in New York. Like he's at every event, he's at every show, like he's always killing it. He just put out a new album with Stoic that was super good. So, shout out to them. What have you been listening to? And especially when you're in New York, like when you're walking around on the street with your headphones in, what do you like to listen to out here?
I was just listening to the new Bryson Tiller project. I mean, it's not new, but that's still my favorite project from this year. Donna Summers, she's fire. Bad Girls is still killing it. I was just listening to Thriller on my way here.
Nice.
Still fire, off the wall. But I listen to a lot of like 80s, 90s, even 70s, like soul, R&B type of music.
What's your favorite song on the new Bryson Tiller album?
Attention is probably my favorite song. Persuasion with Victoria Monet. No Thank You. That's my top three.
And aside from the Bryson Tiller album, what are some other albums that have come out this year that you really love?
Rema's project is really good. Oh, Denzel's project I really enjoyed yesterday.
That was really, really good. You got some great taste. Those are all really great projects. Bringing it back to you, Jeff, for our audience who maybe might not be as familiar with you, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and how you got started with all this.
So my name is Jeff, rapper extraordinaire. But started making music around age of 12, just like playing around with beats and stuff like that. So I started off like singing and making like R&B type of music. Then for some reason I got into like Kendrick and Coles and like Joey Badass, the whole YMCMB era and stuff like that. Yeah, and I just started like rapping, like writing my own verses. And then eventually I started making like my own rap songs. That was like 15, my SoundCloud era, so I call it. And then eventually started dropping on Spotify 2019. My first song ever dropped on Spotify. I want to say after the pandemic, like 2022, when I got on TikTok and just like started promoting my work a lot more. That's when like things started to really move. I dropped a song called Water Life, and then I dropped AITD, then I dropped Where's the Confetti, and after that like things started to pick up.
I remember, I think I found you right around like the Where's the Confetti like era, maybe a little bit before, but you're one of those artists who I think like had a really, really strong start on TikTok. You figured it out really fast how to push your music on there. What was your approach to TikTok when you first got on there, and how did you like get your stride going promoting your music on TikTok?
To be honest, I kind of approached it like you guys, like the content creators. I kind of view myself as more of like a content creator, not like an artist. So that way I kind of like just put out content instead of posting, having a schedule. I mean, TikTok back then you could post like as much, like twice, 3 times in a day. So I approached it that way, and then eventually I slowed down when things started to pick up. Yeah, that was basically it. Like I'm not afraid of promoting my work, so sometimes I just kind of like get excited and just start like posting and stuff.
I think it's cool that you have that natural enthusiasm behind making content. 'Cause I think a lot of artists struggle with that side of things. They're like, I only want to be an artist. I don't want to be a content creator. So it's been really cool watching you express yourself in that way. And I love especially what you did with like the Loner series, having Loner on the cover of every TikTok. I think that was really smart. Tell me about what made you want to do that.
So Loner started off as a record label. I started off in 2012. So I was in not high school, middle school, just playing around with names for like my record label. I was into like the TDEs, YMCMBs, just like those name brands in hip hop. So I wanted to like start my own thing. So I started like Loner. So I always wanted to have that as kind of like my brand aside Jeff and kind of like grow that together. So when I was thinking of ways to kind of like promote it on socials and just like music wise, I just kind of like got the idea to kind of like thumbnail it with my TikToks, my Instagram. So when people ask like what's Loner and they go and check it out, they find out, oh, it's like his music collective or creative collective. Because I'm trying to expand my career into like film and other stuff eventually.
Sick.
So I feel like the Loner is kind of like the foundation for that.
I feel like I talk about it in every fucking interview, but world building is like one of the most important things you can do as an artist. Learning how to expand outside of just your music and like expand into so many different areas under like one cohesive world is one of the smartest things you can do.
Yeah.
So you're on that shit. And something I think that so many people are drawn to in your music is the uniqueness of your voice. I think the way that you use your voice is really singular. There's no one else that sounds like you when when you hear a Jev song, you immediately know it's a Jev song just off your voice. How did you go about finding your voice from listening to your influences to starting to make your own music? What's your journey been like finding your voice?
Just kind of like embracing it, because my story is very different from everyone else's, just because I have like a different background, so I'm going to have a different accent, just a different way of speaking and everything. So I just kind of like embrace it and kind of like take what's mine and use my influences also and just kind of like combine that. That's the way I approach it. Especially with hip hop, it always like gravitates to like things that are new and different. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, let me just embrace it and just kind of go crazy with it. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your background and your accent and why you sound the way that you do, because you have like a really beautiful way of speaking.
Thank you. So I'm born in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's kind of like my nationality. Then grew up in South Africa. Mm-hmm. So that's like where I grew up. Shout out to SA. Then Canada is probably like where I am right now. I moved there after high school, so that's kind of where I've been. The whole thing about my background is so funny just because like my granddad has over like 20 kids.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of kids.
But yeah, he has over like 20 kids, and we just have like family in all different places. So I have family in South Africa, family in Canada. So when I was moving, I was just like live with my aunt, and then Canada, I lived with my aunt for a while. So I have cousins in Belgium. London. My family's all over the place. So
yeah. Who are some artists that you look up to or maybe draw inspiration from that also kind of have like unique voices or accents and like utilize them well?
So I have like different inspirations for like different things. Yeah. Just for like world building, probably my biggest inspiration is Solange. The way she builds her worlds with like every project is crazy. Same with Kanye also. The way I approach like my voice and just like how I want to come across in like music and stuff like that. I take a lot from theater, acting, like Denzel, the way he uses his voice, like the inflections and stuff. Kendrick, Joey, Biggie. I really love how they play around with like their flows to make things work and make things stick. And then just wordplay and like how I approach like writing words and sentences and stuff. Cole and Wayne are probably like my biggest influences with that.
Do you have any practices for honing your writing skills and your rapping skills as you've gone further in your career? How are you like pushing yourself to get better?
I mean, honestly, for me, the way I approach it is like every verse I write, I don't approach it as like, oh, this is going to be the best verse ever. I just kind of like write as much as possible. Yeah. Sometimes we get so caught up in like writer's block and stuff like that we just like procrastinate. So I just say, just write. And sometimes it's okay. I know rappers are going to get this, but like sometimes it's okay to like take one verse over here from like a completely different song and another verse from over there from a completely different song and combine them and just play around with it. So yeah, I'll say just play around and always write.
Are there any of your songs that have come together that way where you've had to like pull from different, like what's an example of that?
Actually, Where's the Confetti started off like that. So it was like 3 different songs. So that's why it's kind of like just one long verse. But it was like 3 different songs, and I took the first verse from like a whole different song that I was working on. And then I took another verse. Actually, the second verse from the part where I say like, loner, da-da-da, took an L as employee. Now, from that part onwards was supposed to be in like another song called Black Samurai. I just kind of like combined them together and made Where's the Confetti with that.
Turned out beautifully. And more recently, you dropped a new project, which is really, really incredible. And it's been so cool to see your growth and like what this project has offered. Tell me a little bit about the album.
When Angels Cry, it's a concept project. It's basically about how society corrupts our inner child. And the way I really wanted to approach it was kind of like a continuation of my last 2 projects. I feel like I'm trying to like master my sound. So I'm still playing around with like the different samples, BPMs, sticking around the same BPM, playing around with my voice a lot. With this project, I really wanted to make something very conceptual. So I really wanted to build a world around like the whole concept of like society corrupts our inner child. There's a theme throughout the project. It kind of tells the story of that, of like this kid that's never been to Wonderland, and Wonderland is kind of like peace of mind. Reception has been really good, so I'm just glad that everyone like enjoyed it and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, your community is liking it so far?
Yeah, most definitely. Because people have been able to see my growth from like The Color Gray up until now, and just see me either get better or just kind of like understand my sound a little more. Because it started off, Where's the Confetti was recorded in my bedroom, and then this project was mainly recorded in like professional studios, so it's, even the sound quality is different. So everything's just like upgrading and changing over time.
Has that change in setting for where you're recording also changed like your process of how you create?
Yeah. When I record at home, I don't know how it is for other artists, but like for me, there is like a level of procrastination that comes with like recording at home, just because like I'm very comfortable.
Right.
So I'm chilling, I'm just like vibing out. There's a lot of like laid backness to it. When I'm recording like a professional studio with like an engineer that's getting paid and stuff, it's just a different mindset. It's like, yo, I need to lock in, record. Like this whole project was probably recorded in like 2 weeks, and then we had to like fix it up over time. Yeah, it's just like a very different mindset when you're in like a studio with like professionals and stuff like that.
Do you have any favorite songs on the project?
It changes. It changes. Right now, my favorite song is probably "The Art of War" with my homie Darian. Shout out to him. When I first dropped the project, my favorite song was "Call Me Back."
I'd say my favorite right now is The Killer She-Wolf.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I really, really love that track, especially I think the production is so beautiful. Tell me about that song and how it came together.
My favorite hip hop projects, they all have like a storytelling type of song.
Yeah.
So like I look back at there's a Nas song called "I Gave You Power" that's like really dope. He's basically rapping from the perspective of like a gun and stuff. It's crazy. The Art of Peer Pressure. I wanted to get like a song that's kind of like tells a story and like a whole storytelling vibe. So I hit up one of my homies, Steven Schaefer, really dope producer, and I asked him for like something laid back with a piano, and I think that was the last song I recorded on the project actually. He sent it to me, I recorded over it, and I basically told the story of like these two guys that go to a neighborhood that they shouldn't be going to, and you know things go crazy, but check it out to see the full story. I think that's probably like one of my favorites also on the project, just because it challenged me to like write a very cohesive story and just like make sense with it.
Yeah, no, the storytelling on there was like super impressive. I really love that one. That's when I was like, wow, like you've come so far. It's been really beautiful to watch, and I'm so excited to see what's next for you. And last thing I want to ask you about the album in particular is for someone who hasn't heard it yet and is about to go in for their first listen, what's like the ideal setting and best conditions for someone's first listen of the album? Where should they be? What should they be doing?
If you're in New York, you should probably be on a train. I think the project is about 35, 36 minutes in total. So just plan out a ride or something, you know, headphones,
Yeah.
press play. The album is supposed to take you on a journey. So I even like the way I did the track listing was to start off with like the very high energy songs and then kind of like cool down later on. But yeah, if you're not in New York or you're just anywhere else in the world, just chill at home. You know, you can play full speaker, you can play headphones, preferably headphones. Actually, the gym is also a good spot. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. So now that the project is out, what's the next thing you're focusing on? I know you said you're focusing on doing some shows. So tell me about that and what else you've got coming next.
We're planning to do a show in London very soon. It's probably going to be a headlining show. We're trying to do all three projects, so The Color Grey, Loner World, and When Angels Cry. And we're just trying to like celebrate with like the fans. I haven't done too many shows. I've probably done like 2 shows in total.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then after that, hopefully a little mini tour or something, or maybe like an opening act for like another bigger artist or something. But yeah, shows are probably like my next focus. And then after that, another project.
Another project, and we're just gonna keep it going. If you could open for any artist in the world, your biggest dream person to open for, who would that be?
I'm gonna say Solange, Cole, Wayne, Lil Wayne, Outkast. If they ever go on tour again, I'll open for Outkast.
Outkast,
I'll
if
do it
y'all
for
are
free.
for free.
For free.
Outkast, if you ever come back outside, we got your opener locked and loaded, ready to go. Would you open for one of Andre's like flute performances?
Yeah, I'll literally change my whole project to make like flute beats and just like rap over flute beats just to accommodate the venue and stuff. Yeah.
Jeff over flute beats would be kind of crazy. I would love to hear that. That would be great. Next thing I want to ask you just a little bit more about like you as a music fan and what you're listening to, Jev. What's the last song you heard that stopped you in your tracks and like blew your mind?
Bad Girls by Donna Summers. That whole project is crazy because like the transitions on the project are like, they're wow. Oh, and Rema's new project is a song called He 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 He. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's insane.
That
Yeah.
Rema project is sensational.
Yeah. The music I really love is like the songs that I can't do at all.
If you could put our audience onto one song that they should listen to that's not your own, what should they listen to?
I'll give like an R&B and a hip hop. R&B, I'll say Solange, Cranes in the Sky. Hip hop, I'll say there's a song by Kendrick. It's actually Black Hippie. It's called Vice City. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out.
This has been one of my favorite interview questions to ask people. I think it says a lot about you. Who's your favorite fictional character?
Huey Freeman, Riley Freeman also. They from the Boondocks. Afro Samurai, Black Dynamite. I like Candace from Phineas and Ferb. She's dope.
Yeah, shout out to Candace.
Yeah, she has bangers. Yeah.
She does. What do you think Candace's favorite Jev song would be?
Probably something upbeat. And then I Got Revenge.
And then I
It just matches with like her whole life and everything.
I can see
Yeah.
Candace like in the headphones bumping it like
Yeah.
right now. Candace had the jams for sure. I remember in the show she'd like break out in song.
What's your favorite Candace song?
Bro, the squirrels in my pants song. You remember that?
Yeah.
What about you?
It's not a party, it's an intimate get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Jev Candace collab when?
my vibe. That's Ashley, right? What's her real?
Ashley Tisdale.
Yeah. I don't know. I could sample a little, you know. I could sample it, play around with it, make it like a '90s boom bap type of song. But I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
soon.
Ooh, This leads me to another fun question. What's your favorite sample flip of all time?
Of all time, Good Life by Kanye West.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. And I'll say Mobb Deep, Shook Ones. Yeah.
Jeff, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to come over here. The new project, again, is so amazing. And I'm just really, really excited to see where you go. Like, you have the most beautiful, long career ahead of you, and we're going to be here cheering you on the whole way. Is there anything else that the people should know about Jeff?
Just shout out to everyone that listened to the project. Shout out everyone who pressed play, who's been like rocking with me since, back then. Just stay tuned for more shows and everything coming soon. And shout out to Annabelle too, my bad.
It's okay.
Shout out to Annabelle too.
Hell yeah, cool. Thanks, Jeff.
Peace.
Yay.